Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki jai. Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Dev ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatara Shata Shishimar Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupāda ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gaur Kishoras Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Gaudiya Guru Varga ki jai. Śrīla Baladev Vijabhushan Prabhu ki jai. Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura ki jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhattadash Raghunath Shara Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Raya Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gora Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Navadip Dham Parikrama ki jai. Parikrama Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Antardvip Mayapur ki jai. That's where everybody's going today. Shri Yoga Pit ki jai. Shri Chaitanya, Shri Yoga Pit ki jai. Shri Shiva Sangan ki jai. Shri Advaita Bhavan ki jai. Shri Gadadhar Bhavan ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupāda Samadhi Mandir ki jai. Śrīla Gaur Kishoras Babaji Maharaj Samadhi Mandir ki jai. Shri Vraja Patan ki jai. Chaitanya Math ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrīmad-Bhāgavati Dasham Skanda ki jai. Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. His purports ki jai. Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura ki jai. Shri Sārārtha Darśinī vritti ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanitti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gauratvishe namaha. Gurave gaurachandraya radhikaya tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna bhaktaya tarabhaktaya namo namaha. Nupetamapeta krityam dvaipayano virahakatara aruhava putreti tanmayataya taravobhinedustang sarvabhuta hridayang munimanatosmi narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswati tato jayam udirayet Shrinvatang swakatha Krishna punya shavana kirtana Vedantasto bhadrani vidhuno suritsatam Nashta prayeshvavadreshu nityang bhagavata sevaya Bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhataki Tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya radhe tvam nayamang charanantikam Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai Kshiptashtakama madhe Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna Vrinde namaste charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hari Bol, everybody. Prajumna Prabhu, Mantra Murti Mataji, Ganga Mataji. Oh my God, it must be like 2 o'clock in the morning for you. Wow. Okay. Hari Bol, Raseshwari Mataji, and Papatarani Mataji, and Rupamanjari Didi, Nitai. I'm not, and Indira Mataji, I'm sure she'll be coming soon, and everybody else. All right, everybody. So, I was actually going to start a couple minutes early, but when I went to click live, the internet went out, and I went outside, and somebody unplugged the Wi-Fi and put in their phone to charge. I've been having a lot of battles with the Wi-Fi here, because everybody wants to charge their phone where I plug in the Wi-Fi, and it's out there. So, but yeah. Oh, Rup Manjari Didi, I'm feeling completely better now, actually. So yeah, thanks for that. All right, so let's read all the verses that we we'll just read the translations of all the verses up to verse 28 where we left off yesterday. Let me know if the internet ever goes out. Like send me a message on WhatsApp, and then I can check to make sure. Oh, no, I didn't see your greeting, Indira Mataji. Yeah, okay. Haribol, Indira Mataji. Yeah, so let me know, because people keep on unplugging the Wi-Fi. It's really frustrating. But I think it won't happen against everybody left on Purukuma. Okay. So chapter 90, last chapter of the 10th canto. Summary of Lord Krishna's glories. Shukadeva Goswami said, "The master of the goddess of fortune resided happily in his capital city, Dwarka, which was endowed with all opulences and populated by the most eminent Vrishnis and their gorgeously dressed wives. When these beautiful women in the bloom of youth would play on the city's roof with balls and other toys, they shone like flashing lightning. The main streets of the city were always crowded with intoxicated elephants exuding mada, and also with cavalry, richly adorned infantrymen, and soldiers riding chariots brilliantly decorated with gold. Gracing the city were many gardens with rows of flowering trees, where bees and birds would gather, filling all directions with their songs. As Gandharvas joyfully sang his praises to the accompaniment of mridanga, panava, and anaka drums, and as professional reciters known as sutas, magandis played venas and recited poems praising him, Lord Krishna would play with his wives in the water. Laughing, the queens would squirt water on him with syringes, and he would squirt them back. Thus, Krishna would sport with his queens in the same way that the Lord of the Yakshas sports with the Yakshi nymphs. Under the drenched clothing of the queens, their thighs and breasts would become visible. The flowers tied in their would scatter as they sprayed water on their consort, and on the plea of trying to take away his syringe, would embrace him. By his touch, their lusty feelings would increase, causing their faces to beam with smiles. Thus, Lord Krishna's queens shone with resplendent beauty. His flower garlands would become smeared with kumkum from their breasts, and his abundant locks of hair would become disheveled as a result of his absorption in the game. As the Lord repeatedly sprayed his young consorts, and they sprayed him in turn, he enjoyed himself like the king of elephants, enjoying in the company of his bevy of she-elephants. Afterward, Krishna and his wives would give the ornaments and clothing they had worn during their water sports to the male and female performers who earned their livelihood from singing and playing instrumental music. In this way, Lord Krishna would sport with his queens, totally captivating their hearts with his gestures, talks, glances, and smiles, and all jokes, playful exchanges, and embraces. The queens would become stunned in ecstatic trance, their minds absorbed in Krishna alone. Then, thinking of their lotus-eyed Lord, they would speak as if insane. Please hear these words from me as I relate them. So now we're going to begin the Mahishi Gita. And just letting you guys know, periodically I'm going to keep on sipping from this licorice tea that Rukmini so kindly sent for me. I need it for my voice because I've been singing a lot. Oh, yesterday I sang a lot. Right as soon as I finish this reading, I'm taking off for Parikrama. So, sorry. Okay, so now we begin the Mahishi Gita. The queen said, I'm just checking the comments, 1 second. Okay, the queen said, O Kurari boy, you are lamenting. Now it is night, and somewhere in this world, the Supreme Lord is asleep in a hidden place. But you are wide awake, O friends, unable to fall asleep. Is it that, like us, you have had your heart pierced to the core by the Lotus Lord's munificent, playful, smiling glances? Poor Chakravarti, type of swan or goose, even after closing your eyes, you continue to cry night for your unseen mate. Or is it that, like us, you have become the servant of Achyuta and hanker to wear your braided hair? You hanker to wear in your braided hair the garlands he has blessed with the touch of his feet? Dear ocean, you are always roaring, not sleeping at night. Are you suffering insomnia? Or is it that, as with us, Mukunda has taken your insignias and you are hopeless of retrieving them? My dear moon, having contracted a severe case of tuberculosis, you have become so emaciated that you fail to dispel the darkness with haste. Or is it that you are dumbstruck because, like us, you cannot remember the encouraging promises Mukunda once made to you? O Malayan breeze, what have we done to displease you so that you stir up lust in our hearts, which have already been shattered by Govinda's sidelong glances? O revered cloud, revered, I always get confused. O revered cloud, you are indeed very dear to the chief of the Yadavs, who bears the mark of Srivatsa. Like us, you are bound by love and are meditating upon him. Your heart is distraught with great eagerness, as our hearts are, and as you remember him again and again, you shed a torrent of tears. Association with Krishna brings such misery. O sweet-throated cuckoo, in a voice that could revive the dead, vibrating the same sounds we once heard from our beloved, the most pleasing of speakers. Please tell me what I can do today to please you. O magnanimous mountain, you neither move nor speak. You must be pondering some matter of great importance. Or do you, like us, desire to hold on your breasts the feet of Vasudev's darling son? O rivers, lives of the ocean, your pools have now dried up. Alas, you have shriveled to nothing. Your wealth of lotuses has vanished. Are you, then, like us, who are withering away because of not receiving the affectionate glance of our dear husband, the Lord who has cheated our heart? Are you like us, withering away from not receiving the affectionate glance of our dear husband who has cheated our hearts? Welcome, Swan. Please sit here and drink some milk. Give us some news of the descendant of Shura, dear one. We know you are his messenger. Is that invincible lord doing well? And does that unreliable friend of ours still remember the words he spoke to us long ago? Why should we go and worship him? O servant of a petty master, go tell him who fulfills our desires to come here without the goddess of fortune. Is he the only woman exclusively devoted to him? One second. Shukadev Goswami said, by thus speaking and acting with such love for Lord Krishna, the master of all masters of mystic yoga, his loving wives attain the ultimate goal of life. The Lord, whom countless songs glorify in countless ways, forcibly attracts the minds of all women who simply hear about him. What to speak, then, of those women who see him directly? And how could one possibly describe the great austerities that have been performed by the women who perfectly served him, the spiritual masters in pure ecstatic love? Thinking of him as their husband, they rendered such intimate services as massaging his feet. So that's where we read up to yesterday. And if we get time at the end, I'd like to read this article by my Gurudev, An Ocean in the Palm of One's Hand, an exposition of the verse Jayati Jananivasa, which is one of the last verses we'll be reading, verse 48. Evedotitang dharmam anutish satam gati griham dharmartha kamanam mohusha darshayat padam. Thus, observing the principles enunciated in the Vedas, Lord Krishna, the goal of the saintly devotees, repeatedly demonstrated how one can achieve at home the objectives of religiosity, economic development, and regulated sense gratification. Sārārtha Darśinī commentary by Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura. Krishna showed that one's home can be a place for achieving dharma, artha, and kama, religiosity, wealth, and regulated sense pleasure. Asti tasya param dharmam krishnasya grihamedhinam asan shodasha sahasram mahishyascha shatadhikam. While fulfilling the highest standards of religious householder life, Lord Krishna maintains more than 16,100 wives. Tasam ratna bhutanam ashtoya pragahrita Rukmini Pramukha Rajangs Tatputrashchanupurvasha. Among these jewel-like women were 8 principal queens headed by Rukmini. I have already described them one after another, O king, along with their sons. Commentary. Those 8 of whom the principal queen was Rukmini were previously described, as well as their sons. Kasyam dasha dasha Krishno ji janaratmajan Yavatya atmano bharya amogha gatirishvara. The Supreme Lord Krishna, whose endeavor never fails, begot 10 sons in each of his many wives. Commentary. There is an alternate version of Amogha Rati instead of Amogha Gatir. In that case, the meaning is, one whose desires do not go in vain and are always fulfilled. Tesham uddama viryanam ashtadasha maharata asan udhara yashasas say asan udhara yashasas tesham namani me shrinu. Among these sons, all possessing unlimited valor, 18 were Maharathas of great renown. Now hear their names from me. Pradumna Chanirudhascha Diptiman Bhanurevacha Sambodhur Brihad Bhanush Chitra Bhanur Vrikoruna Pushkaro Bhahuscha Shrutadeva Sunandana Chitra Bahur Virupascha Kavir Nyagroda Evacha. They were Pradumna, Aniruddha, Diptiman, Bhanu, Sambha, Madhu, Brihad Bhanu, Chitra Bhanu, Vrika, Aruna, Pushkara, Vedabahu, Shrutadev, Sunandana, Chitrabahu, Virupa, Kavi, and Nyagrodha. Commentary. The Aniruddha mentioned here is Krishna's son, not his well-known grandson through Pradyumna. Etesham apirajendra tanujanam madhudvisha. One second, just need to check. Okay. Sorry. Pradumna asit pramata pitrivad rukmini. Pradumna asit pramata pitrivad rukmini sutta. O best of kings, of these sons begotten by Lord Krishna, the enemy of Madhu, the most prominent was Rukmini's son, Pradumna. He was just like his father. Sa Rukmino duhitaram upayeme maharatha tasyang tato niruddho bhut nagayata balanvita. The great warrior Pradumna married Rukmi's daughter, Rukmavati, who gave birth to Aniruddha. He was as strong as 10,000 elephants. Sa chapi Rukmina potrim rohitro jagrihe tata vajrastasya bhavaryastu moshalad avasheshita. Rukmi's daughter's son, Aniruddha, married Rukmi's daughter's daughter. He married Rukmi's son's daughter, Rochana. From her was born Vajra, who would remain among the few survivors of the Yadu's battle with clubs. Okay, yeah, at the end there's that battle, right? So he was one of the few survivors. Pratibahur abhutasmat subahustasya chatmaja subaho shantaseno bhuj chatasenastu tatsutah. From Vajra, and Vajra is the one who established all the holy places that we go to in Vraj. So from Vajranabh, right? So from Vajra came Pratibahu, whose son was Subahu. Subahu's son was Shantasena, from whom Shatasena was born. Shantasena, from whom Shatasena was born. Only difference in their name is one has a long A and an N. Na hyetasmin kule jata adhana abahu praja alpayushalpaviryascha abhramanyascha gire. No one born in this family was poor in wealth or progeny, short-lived weak, or neglectful of Brahminical culture. Yaduvangsha prasutanam pungsam vikhyata karmanam sankhya shakyate kartum api varsha yutar nripa. The Yadu dynasty produced innumerable great men of famous deeds. Even in the tens of thousands of years, O king, one could never count them all. 1 second. Tisra kotya sahasranam ashtashiti shatani cha asanyadhu kulacharya komaranam iti shrutam. I have heard from authoritative sources that the Yadu family employed 38,800,000 teachers just to educate their children. Whoa! 38,800,000 teachers? It's like each child's got a bunch of personal teachers. Commentary. The teachers for thousands of children numbered 30 million. Hey, a different number here. 8,800. Was that a mistake? Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura is saying, actually, it was 8,800, not 800,000. Maybe that's a mistake. Oh no, that's a big difference. This one says 38 million. So this is like 8 million too much. If, whatever. Okay, continuing on. Sankyanam yadavanam ka karishyati mahatmanam yatra yutanam ayuta lakshena ste saahuka. Who can count all the great Yadavas when among them King Ugrasen alone was accompanied by an entourage of 30 trillion attendants? Commentary. The plural number of the word ayutanam, tens of thousands, indicates that King Ugrasen had specifically 30 trillion attendants, rather than an indefinite number of tens of trillions. 30 trillion attendants. Wow. This can be understood by applying the interpretational rule of kapin jaladhikarana, the law of referring to pigeons. Okay? Let's see. I'm really curious about what that means, referring to pigeons. Anyways. Somewhere in the Vedas is found the injunction that one should sacrifice some pigeons. Okay? Sacrifice the pigeons. This plural number should be taken to mean not an indiscriminate number of pigeons, but precisely 3 of them. Vedas never leave any matter vague. Thus, ayutanam ayuta lakshina, with a lack of ayutas, means 3 times 10,000 ayuta times 10,000 ayuta times 100,000, a lakh, or, oh God, 30 trillion. No, 30 trillion, which is 3 sankhas. Okay. The description is the present tense to express Shukadev's realization of the eternal nature of Krishna's pastimes. Prajumnaru, no, there are no descendants of Krishna left, if that's what you're asking about. Divasura hava hata daiteya ye sudaruna te chotpanna manusheshu prajadripta babhathire. Wait, that wasn't the right thing to say. Of course, there's Krishna's descendants are in innumerable planets all the time, and even on this planet in an imperceptible form. So yeah, but I mean physically, no. Physically before our eyes, I mean no. Okay. Sorry, let me reread the Sanskrit. Devasura hava hata daiteya ye sudaruna te chotpanna manusheshu prajadripta babhadire. The savage descendants of Diti, who had been killed in past ages in battles between the demigods and demons, took birth among human beings and arrogantly harassed the general populace. Tani grahaya harina prokta deva yadokule avatirna kula shatam tesham ekadhikam nripa. To subdue these demons, Lord Hari told the demigods to descend into the dynasty of Yadu. They comprised 101 clans, O king. Commentary. The phrase Kula Shatam Ekadikam, a dynasty of 101 clans, is the enumeration of the clans, not of the individual persons, since they were countless. Tesham pramanam bhagavan prabhutvin. Uh-oh. It froze for Manjari Didi. Did it freeze for anybody else? Poor pigeons, totally. Yeah, did it freeze for anybody else? Let me know. Tesham prampagavan prabhutvenar bhavam dhari echanu vartinastasya vavridhu sarvayadava. Okay, I came back. Great. Because Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Yadavas accepted him as their ultimate authority, and among them, all those who were his intimate associates especially flourished. Commentary. Those who are Krishna's intimate associates, all in the form of Yadavas, increased the numbers of Yadus. Krishna alone could count their numbers, because such counting was beyond the comprehension of even persons like Lord Brahma. Shayasanat Shayasanattanalapa Kriyasnanadikarmasu na vidush santamatmanam Vrishnaya Krishna Chetasa. The Vrishnis were so absorbed in Krishna consciousness that they forgot their own bodies while sleeping, sitting, walking, versing, playing, bathing, and so on. Tirtam kre nriponam ya. Oh, sorry, it's a different meter. Tirtam chakre. No, what is the meter? This Tirtam chakre nriponam yada jani yadushu swasarit padashocham vidvit dha sarupam yayur ajita parashir yarartenya yatna yanama mangalagham. I don't know the meter, so I'm just gonna wing it. Yam nama mangalagham shrutam atagaritam yat krito gotra dharma Krishna saitam nachitram kshiti bhara haranam kala chakra yudhasya. Oh, is this 4 lines? It was 4 lines. Sorry, that's why I was not reading it right. Yanama mangalagham. Anyways, whatever. We'll just continue. The heavenly Ganges is a holy place of pilgrimage because her waters wash Lord Krishna's feet. But when the Lord descended among Yadus, his glories eclipsed Ganges as a holy place. Both those who hated Krishna and those who loved him attained eternal forms like his in the spiritual world. The unattainable and supremely self-satisfied goddess of fortune, for the sake of whose favor everyone else struggles, belongs to him alone. His name destroys all inauspiciousness when heard or chanted. He alone has set forth the principles of the various disciplines of sages. What one what wonder is it that he, whose personal weapon is the wheel of time, relieves the burden of the earth? Commentary. Summing up the 10th canto, the jewel mine of Krishna's eternal pastimes, Shukadeva mentions 5 unique qualities distinguishing Sri Krishna from all his other expansions, plenary portions, and incarnations. First, Krishna's reputation as a sacred place of pilgrimage eclipsed that of the holy Ganges when he descended into the Yadu dynasty. Previous to this, Ganga Devi was the most sacred of all tirthas, being the water that had bathed Lord Vamandev's lotus feet. So that's the first one. One second. Haribol Rukmini Didi. Second, Krishna gave liberation not only to his surrendered devotees, but also to his loving devotees like the Vraj Gopis attains the opportunity to enjoy pastimes of conjugal love in personal form with his Svarup in the spiritual world, whereas animal demons like Kamsa, who were killed by Krishna, attained the Sayuja Mukti of merging into his divine form. Third, Lakshmi, Lord Narayan's constant companion, whom great demigods such as Brahma serve menially to win her slight favor. How many people are what do people do to get Lakshmi Devi? So even Brahma serve menially to win her slight favor. All those people cannot conquer Ajita Krishna. Ajita means unconquerable Krishna. Even by severe austerities, she could not bring Krishna under control and enjoy the Ras Lila as the Vraj Gopis did. Wow, that's really cool. So, even great demigods such as Brahma serve menially to win Lakshmi's slight favor, but even Lakshmi could not conquer Krishna. And she could not even bring Krishna under, enjoy the Ras Lila as the Vraj Gopis did. Fourth, the name Krishna is superior to the name Narayan and to the name of all Krishna's other expansions. These 2 syllables, Krish and Na, combine together to destroy all inauspiciousness and illusion. Or, chanting that holy name eradicates all ignorance of Krishna's supreme position, thus capturing even the liberated souls. Recitation of Krishna's holy name is Mata in the sense that it totally crushes the excellence of all other spiritual practices described in the revealed scriptures. In the words of the Brahmana, Sahasra Namnam Punyanam Tir Avritya tu Yat Phalam Ekavritya tu Krishnasya Namaikam Tat Prayachati. By uttering the single name of Krishna just once, one attains the same benefit as that gains by reciting Lord Vishnu's 1,000 names 3 times. Fifth, Krishna solidly reinstated Dharma, the bull of religion, his 4 legs of compassion, austerity, cleanliness, and truth. Thus, Dharma could once again become Gotra, which means the protector of the earth. At the end of Dwapar Yuga, Dharma was lacking 3 legs, as is stated in the words of Mother Earth, in the form of a cow, to the personality religious principles in the form of a bull. Chatur bhir partase yena pader loka sukha vahai. Once you too were maintained by your 4 legs, and you increased happiness all over the universe by the mercy of the Lord. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1:16-25. Since Krishna alone possesses these 5 wonderful characteristics, his removing the earth's burden is not at all astonishing, though it may be for the common man. Now we finally come to this very famous verse that my Gurudeva would quote all the time. We're going to read this at the end, my Guru commentary on this quote, an ocean in the palm of one's hand. You can sing this with me if you haven't been singing out loud the verses. Jayati janani vaso devaki Janmavado Yaduvara Parishatsvar Dorbhirasyan Adharmam Sthirachara Vrijinagna Susmita Shri Mukhena Vrajapura Vanitanam Vardhayan Kamadevam. It's the same meter as Govardhan Vaspartana Dashakam. Lord Shri Krishna is he who is known as Jana Nivasa, the ultimate resort of all living entities, and also who is known as Devaki Nandan or Yashoda Nandan, the son of Devaki and Yashoda. He is the guide of the Yadu dynasty, and with his mighty arms, he kills everything inauspicious, as well as every man who is impious. By his presence, he destroys all things inauspicious for all living entities, moving and inert. His blissful, smiling face always increases the lusty desires of the gopis of Vrindavan. May he be all glorious and happy. May he be all glorious and happy. This is also the last verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Commentary. If someone says, "Alas, alas, what misfortune that Krishna did not continue to manifest his intimate pastimes down to the present time." To console such persons, Shukadeva Goswami has composed this beautiful verse. Forgive me, bro. Haribol Achyuta Priya Didi. 1 second. Okay, so living among human beings such as cowherds and the Yadavas, Krishna remains the most glorious for all time. The word Jayati, he is victorious, means that Krishna is eternally present in this world, his holy abode, his holy name, and the recitation of his glories. Wonderful. Krishna is present in his holy abode, he's present in his holy name, and he's present in the recitation of his glories. This is indicated by the word Jayati, which is in the present tense rather than the past. Cool. One should not expect Shukadev to have used the imperative case Jayatu instead of Jayati, because in Krishna's devotee, it would be improper for him to demand blessings from the Lord. All his desires were already fulfilled because the Lord's blessings are always available. Shukadeva Goswami continued, "It is definitively concluded that Krishna took birth from the two Devakis, the wives of Nanda and Vasudeva, Devaki Janmavado. That Devaki is a second name. That Devaki is a second name of Mother Yashoda is confirmed in Brihad Vishnu Purana. Dvinamni Nandabharyaya Yashoda Devaki Ticha Ata Sakyam Abhut Tasya Devakya Shori Jaya. The wife of Nanda had two names, Yashoda and also Devaki. Therefore, it was natural that Yashoda, the wife of Nanda, developed friendship with Devaki, the wife of Shori, Vasudeva. Shukadev Goswami has said conclusively that Krishna was born from both Devakis, Devakyam iva Yashodayam. That's from the 2nd chapter of the 10th canto, verse 9. Sri Krishna himself states, Vadha pravadatam aham. I am the natural conclusion, Vadha, of all arguments. That's 1032. The word Vada also refers to philosophical theory, as Arambhavad, the theory that the creation has no beginning, and Parinamavad, the theory that the creation emanates from the Supreme. So it says Devaki Janmavado, so that word Vad. So it's like the theory of Krishna being Devaki's son. Like Mayavad, the theory of, there's Vad means like that. Mayavad, Brahmavad. So Shukadeva Goswami, so Devaki Janmavad, the theory of Krishna being Devaki's son. Shukadeva Goswami said, Krishna's eternal associates were Yadu dynasty, Yadu Vara Parishat, some of whom were herdmen in Vraj, and others were Kshatriyas in Mathura and Dwarka. With his own arms, or by his devotees like Arjuna who are just like his own arms, Krishna kills the demons opposing religion. Thus, Krishna destroys the misery of material life of all non-moving and moving entities, and removes the suffering due to separation of the inhabitants of Vraj and Dwarka. With his blissful smiling face, Krishna, who is lust personified, Kamadevam, always increases the lusty desires, Vardhayan Kamadevam. He always increases Vardhayan of all the damsels of Vraj and the city women of Mathura and Dwarka, who are completely attracted to him. In this way, Krishna is eternally glorious, Jayati. Yes, Rukmini, present. He is in the present now. He remains. He remains eternally glorious, Jayati. The transcendental Kamadev, god of love, is a brilliant spiritual personality arising from Krishna's own internal spiritual nature. The word Devam in Kamadevam means bright or spiritual. Thus, Shukadeva Goswami has stated that all the pastimes occurring in Vraj, Mathura, and Dwarka, described in the 10th canto, are eternal. The detailed dynamics of the eternal nature of Krishna's pastimes are thoroughly described with logical reasoning in my commentary on Ujjvala Nilam. And at the end of the 11th canto, it will be more elaborately commented under the topic of Krishna's disappearance. Itam parasya nijavartmarirakshayata Lila tanustaranurupa vidampanani Karmani karma kashanani yaduttamasya Shruyad amusya padayor anuvrittimichan. To protect the principles of devotional service to himself, Lord Krishna, the best of the Yadus, accepts pastime forms that have been glorified here in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. One who desires to faithfully serve his lotus feet should hear of the activities he performs in each of these incarnations, activities that suitably imitate those of the forms he assumes. Hearing narrations of these pastimes destroys the reactions to fruitive work. Commentary. Having established that the pastimes of Sri Krishna are eternal, Shukadeva Goswami prescribes hearing about them in this verse. How can it be described, in verse 47, that all Krishna's eternal associates became situated in his exclusive abode? This is answered here that those who merely listen to the pastimes of Krishna enjoyed with his associates, they will also attain eternal residence in the spiritual world, just those who have heard, who merely listen to the pastimes of Krishna with his associates. As previously described, the Supreme Lord Krishna manifests his personal forms in this material world in order to protect his own principles of religion, namely devotion, bhakti. Sri Krishna appears simply out of his mercy. Otherwise, he remains imperceptible to everyone. One should hear about the pastimes of Krishna's various incarnations, which display activities befitting that particular avatar. Though these incarnations may appear to be engaged in inferior, mundane activities, nevertheless, one should hear about their pastimes, which actually display unequaled, unexcelled majesty. Such hearing will destroy the reactions to fruitive work. Okay, now we come to the very last verse of the 10th canto, verse 50. Martyastayanusavam. Wait, no. What's the meter to this? Okay, got it. Martyasthayanusavamedhitaya mukunda Śrīmad Katha Shravana Kirtana Chintayaiti Tardha Madhustara Kritanta Javapavargam Gramar Vanam Kshiti Bhujopi Yayur Yadartha. Haribol! By regularly hearing, chanting, and meditating on the beautiful topics of Lord Mukunda with ever increasing sincerity, a mortal being will attain the divine kingdom of the Lord, where the I don't know this word, inviolable power of death holds no sway, never to be broken, dishonored. Inviolable. Okay. For this purpose, many persons, including great kings, abandoned their mundane homes and took to the forest. Commentary. For the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam's 10th canto, this verse is the phala shruti, the fruit of hearing, the promise of success. How can one attain the success of entering the spiritual world? How can one attain success of entering the spiritual world? Tad Dham, the Lord's Dham. By steadily hearing and chanting about the beautiful topics, Śrīmad Katha, the beautiful topics of Sri Krishna, one will begin to meditate on them, and then start continuously thinking, by what method will I attain Krishna, and when? This verse states that Krishna's abode is beyond the influence of time, since it destroys the unable force of death. One method of attaining Sri Krishna's eternal domain is mentioned beginning with the word gramat, home. The phrase kings implies that kings such as Swayambhuva Manu and Priyavrata renounced their homes and kingdoms and went to the forest in search of Krishna. I'm just thinking of that verse by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Ami ghare na jaibo, vane praveshibo, olila rase ratore. Tyaji ulalaj, bhajavraj, vino raminati kore. Sorry. Navatitamo tradhyayo dashame Sārārtha Darśinyam. Let me try that again. Navartitamottradhyayo dashame Sārārtha Darśinyam Sangata esha skando pyastu satam sangato hridime. The Sārārtha Darśinī commentary on the 90th chapter of the 10th canto has now gradually reached its completion, and so has the canto. This has been accomplished by the association given to me by the devotees of the Lord from within my heart. Margavir apigopala swikuryat kripaya yadi tadaiva sampaya pitva rishyeyus tat priya. O Gopala, please accept and maintain the cows in the form of my words. Please experience the pleasure of personally drinking that milk and inspire others to do the same. Maghasya Krishna Dvadashyam Radha Krishna Sarastate Dashama Skandatikeyam Avuri Kripaya Prabho. By the mercy of the Lord, I completed this commentary on the 10th canto of the 12th day, Dwadashi of the 12th day of the dark fortnight, Dwadashi of Magha, that's January, February, on the banks of Radhakund. And that's it. Oh my God, it's over. Jai Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura ki jai. Sārārtha Darśinī vritti ki jai. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Dashram Skanda ki jai. Shri Krishna Chandra ki jai. Shri Vrajendra Nandan Sham Sundar Shri Krishna Chandra ki jai. Shri Vrishabhanu Nandini Shrimati Radha Thakurani ki jai. All of Krishna's associates ki jai. Shri Shukadev Goswami ki jai. Shri Sutta Goswami ki jai. Shri Parikshit Maharaj ki jai. Shri Krishna Dvaipayan Veda Vyasdev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupāda's purports ki jai. Śrīla Gurudeva ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Wow, I can't believe it's over. The 10th canto. It's sad, but I'm also excited. And I'm feeling both feelings at the same time, because now we'll be able to begin the 11th canto in a few days from now, after Gaur Purnima, and also once we're done with, and the 12th canto is very short, and once we're done with that, then I would like to begin reading Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavatam. I don't know exactly how I'll do Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavatam. I was thinking maybe reading Chaitanya Charitamrita in the morning and Chaitanya Bhagavatam at night, or maybe Chaitanya Bhagavatam in the morning and Chaitanya Charitamrita at night, or maybe reading both of them but doing it chronologically. That might be a good idea, right? Reading chronologically. So we'd be reading Chaitanya Charitamrita one day and then reading Chaitanya Bhagavatam, and switching back and forth according to time, in chronological time. I don't know. It's just some ideas I have. But I'm so grateful for everyone joining all these readings. I'm not going to read my Gurudev's article because it's already 7:30 and I need to take off now. So I'll just end with Mahamantra. But what I think I'll do is I'll make a pre-recorded video, or if I leave later, like today, then I'll just read it live. But it might be a pre-recorded video because tomorrow might be a long day. And then we could read this article that my Gurudev gave on this very important verse, Jayati Janani Vasa Devaki Janmavado. Yes, there's the Uddhav Geet. Totally. And I think this is Nrihari Prabhu, or I don't know if it's Bhavatani Mataji or Nrihari Prabhu, but he said the 11th canto is the favorite of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. And it'd be nice to sing a kirtan, but I really need to leave. So maybe after reading tomorrow this article by my Gurudev, that last one, that 48th verse of the 10th canto, maybe I can do a kirtan then. Maybe we can sing Mangala Geetam or something like that. Or if you have any recommendation, let me know and I'll sing it. Just tell me what kirtan I should sing, something that would be related to our 10th canto readings. And Indira Mataji is asking, and Hari Bol, Hari Prabhu. So Indira Mataji is asking, where can she get a PDF for the 10th canto? What I'm planning on doing is I'm just purchase the Bhanu Swami's 11th canto on Amazon. But actually what I was thinking what might be nice is just to copy the whole book and divide it into separate chapters. And I do a little bit of layout to make it look nice. And then I can scroll down and then we can see on the side how much is left in the chapter. I think that would be kind of fun. Because right now, when I'm reading, I don't know how much is left till the end. That would be helpful. But anyhow. Yeah, indeed, Mataji. I'm also really looking forward to it. Thanks for Manjari Didi. Okay, I'll do Jaidwani and then I'll leave. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Juki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Juki Jai Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudeva Ki Jai Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimad Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupāda Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimad Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimad Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupāda Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gorkishoras Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupa Anuga Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Bhakti Ballava Tirtha Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Swaparshad Śrīla Prabhupāda Ki Jai Shri Rupanuk Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Śrīla Baladev Vijabhushan Prabhu Ki Jai Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura Ki Jai Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai Ki Jai Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dashagunath Sharda Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Raya Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda Ki Jai Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai Shri Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai Shri Śrīmad-Bhāgavatiya Dasham Skanda Ki Jai Śrīla Prabhupāda Ki Jai Śrīla Prabhupāda's purports Ki Jai Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura Ki Jai Sārārtha Darśinī Vritti Ki Jai Shri Vrajendra Nandan Sham Sundar Shri Krishna Chandra Ki Jai Shri Vrishabhanu Nandini Shrimati Radha Thakurani Ki Jai Sarva Vrajavasi Gan Ki Jai Sarva Vrajadevi Gan Ki Jai Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan Ki Jai Shri Nanda Baba Yashoda Maya Ki Jai Shri Vasudev Devaki Ki Jai Shri Mahishi Gan Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaish Shri Shukadev Goswami Ki Jai Shri Parikshit Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Sutta Goswami Ki Jai all the sages of Naimisharanya Ki Jai Shri Shri Krishna Dvaipayan Veda Vyasdev Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Navadip Dham Parikrama Ki Jai Parikrama Kari Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shriman Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Jiva Goswami Pad Ki Jai Navadip Dham Mahatma Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Premande Hari Hari Bol Vrindai Tulsi Devai Shavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpaturu Vyashta Kripa Sindhu Bhyayevacha Patitanam Pavane Bhyo Vaishnave Bhyo Namo Namaha. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining in all these readings and all your encouragement. And yeah, I really look forward to starting the 11th canto, like Indira Mataji is saying here. Yes, and Nirihari Prabhu also saying that. And yeah, okay, so I'll see you again tomorrow, either live or a pre-recorded video to read my Gurudev's article on that verse. And I'll sing a kirtan. And then, yeah. Then on Gaur Purnima Day, I don't know what I'm going to do, but probably lots of readings in the morning time. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a lot of reading in the morning, from reading from Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And all right, Haribol. Today I'm going. So we're doing. This is supposed to be secret, but I'm going to mention it anyways because we're doing a really small little parikrama, just a few of us, because it's too overwhelming. My parents are here, and it's just too overwhelming with little kids and with my parents going on the big main parikrama. And so we're doing a little small intimate parikrama. And yesterday evening we went to Yogapit. Shivas Angan, Gadadhar Bhavan, Advaita Bhavan, and Shri Chaitanya Mat, Śrīla Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Samadhi Mandir, and Gorkshara Pabadi Maharaj's Samadhi Mandir. And today right now, I'm going to go to Prodamaya, Vriddha Shiva, then Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj's Samadhi, and then Nirdai Ghat, our little tiny group. And yeah. All right. So I'll think of all of you while I'm there. Yes. All right, everybody. Haribol. Well, actually, the reason why I mentioned it is because none of you, because we don't want the parikrama to be too big, and I know all of you watching are in other places, and so it won't be too crowded. So that's why I don't think it's a big deal if all of you know. Hi, Haribol, everybody. Intimate parikrama. Okay, Haribol. Yeah, it's my first time ever doing a small Navadip parikrama. Usually I always go on the main party. So it's a whole new experience for me. What we're doing is we're going to all the places. We do kirtan on the way, and then when we get to the place, then we read from Navadip Mahatma, and we all sing together. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Okay. And Nri Hari Prabhu says we won't tell. Thank you. Haribol Bhavataruni Mataji. All right, everybody, I'm going to take off. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Haribol.